Welcome to the Deep Dive. We take your sources and, well, we unpack the key insights for you. Today, we're getting into the pretty significant updates to GRI 103, Energy 2025. We've got the FAQs here, and our job is really to give you a clear shortcut to understanding these important changes in sustainability standards.
That's right. And these aren't just minor adjustments. This revision is really aiming to reflect best practices agreed internationally. It helps organizations, disclose their significant energy impacts much more transparently. There's a real focus on accountability, especially with this shift towards renewables. It's about mapping that path to a decarbonized economy.
Okay, right. Let's unpack these main changes then. What's the first really big shift we need to be aware of?
Well, the first major thing is a completely new management disclosure. It's specifically about energy policies and commitments. It's not just another box to tick. It really pushes companies to define their energy roadmap for the future. It signals a move from just reporting what happened to, well, planning strategically.
I see. So companies need to be clear about how they plan to decarbonize, not just report current numbers. That feels like a significant step up in accountability. But it's not just policies, is it? What about the actual energy use, the consumption and generation inside the company?
Absolutely. And this is where it gets quite granular. The requirements there are really expanded and also reorganized to be clearer. A key update, I think, is the demand for a breakdown separating purchased and self-generated electricity. And even electricity they sell. It all needs to be broken down by source. Renewable or non-renewable.
Oh, interesting. So they have to spell out exactly what percentage is green energy.
Precisely. And it gets detailed. It includes reporting on quality criteria for contractual instruments.
Yeah.
So if a company claims renewable energy using things like, say, REC's renewable energy certificates, they now need to show the data is solid. The claims are credible. It's about making sure these claims actually represent real additions of renewable energy,
Yeah.
not just shuffling certificates.
Right, that transparency is definitely key. But a company's energy impact doesn't stop at its own doors, does it? What about the value chain?
Good point. That's another fascinating area. There's a new requirement now to list significant energy consumption both upstream and downstream, and they need to do this by Scope 3 categories. So for you, this means companies have to start disclosing those indirect impacts from their whole value chain. Think materials they buy, transportation, how products are used, waste. It's a much fuller picture.
Wow, that's quite a leap in understanding the total footprint. Okay. And quickly, you mentioned energy intensity in the FAQs. Any changes there?
Yes, a clarification, really. The standard makes it clear organizations have to report the actual energy consumption figure, the numerator, not just the intensity ratio. They need the ratio, its denominator, and the raw consumption number. It ensures consistency and, frankly, gives a clearer view of efficiency trends. You see the real numbers, not just a ratio that could potentially mask rising consumption.
Got it. And finally, energy reductions. How is reporting on those changing?
Yeah, there's an important addition here, too. You now need to report where the reductions are happening. Is it within the organization? Or is it somewhere specific in the value chain? If it's the value chain, they need to list the relevant upstream or downstream categories. It really pushes for more awareness and responsibility for energy use across the entire system, every link.
So bringing this all together, the standard even changed its number, right? From GRI 302 to GRI 103. What's the story there?
That's simply part of the big 2021 GRI standard system update, just restructuring and integrating things. This new standard, GRI 103, officially kicks in January 4, 2027. Though, importantly, companies are encouraged to adopt it earlier, and it was developed alongside GRI 102, Climate Change 2025. They're linked, especially regarding Scope 1, 2, and 3 greenhouse gas emissions reporting. It's meant to be a more cohesive system.
Okay, so this deep dive, it really highlights a clear move towards, well, much more detailed, transparent, and comprehensive energy reporting. It seems the focus is shifting from just snapshot reporting to tracking that whole journey towards renewables and decarbonization.
Exactly. And if you think about the bigger picture, these changes, they aren't just more rules. They offer a really powerful framework. For organizations, yes, but also for you as someone looking at these reports to really understand what's going on and hopefully drive real change in our energy landscape. It does leave you with a question, though. How much faster will this kind of transparency push the global energy transition for everyone involved?
That's definitely something to think about as you reflect on this deep dive.